everybody, welcome to RetroGameCrunch. Today's going to be epic. You're for sure going to want to stick around. Today we're kicking off the first ever RetroGameCrunch Mystery Box Tournament. Think NCAA basketball tournament, but with video games. That's right, you're going to want to stick around to find out who wins. So I've bought 4 different mystery boxes from 4 different companies. Each of them is going to go head to head in a fierce battle to see who can provide the best PS2 titles out of a mystery box. Alright, so let's break down how each company is going to score points. First quarter will be overall condition. Are these games scratched? Did they come loose? Did they include their case and manual? Companies will be able to score points between 1 and 5. 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. Second quarter will be the collection value. Do these games actually add value to my collection, or are they just filler titles? Maybe sports games. How many sports games did they include? Did the company put some thought into what they sent me? The third quarter will be the overall value. For that, we'll go to price charting to look and see what kind of value these games add to my collection. Did I get my money worth, or did they short me? So here's the deal. Round 1 of this mystery box tournament is going to include Double Jump video games, Core Gaming, Secret Castle toys and games, as well as Retro VGames. And I'll give you a little bit more information about Retro VGames later. The 2 winning boxes from this round will then face off in the next video for a $100 mystery box, in which we'll go back through and compare how their $100 mystery boxes stack up to crown the ultimate champion of the mystery boxes in this tournament. Alright, let's get to the fun part. First up we have Core Gaming versus Retro VGames. Let's open up that first box. I've purchased a Core Gaming mystery box once before. At that time I ended up purchasing a box that had PlayStation 1, Xbox, and Xbox 360 games. I'll put a link down below to that video, which should be live now, so that you all can watch that one at your leisure. The first box that I bought with those games, I spent $60 on, and I ended up with $120 worth of value after going through all those games. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what ends up being in this box. Let's get started. Alright, for this tournament I ended up picking up, because the Core Gaming mystery boxes are $19.99 each, I ended up grabbing 2 boxes. In total, with shipping, those boxes cost me $43.97. I tried to stick to that $50 budget and not go over, so this box happened to be a little bit cheaper, along with the Retro V box that I ended up receiving. Let's see what games they ended up sending me. Alright, all in we should have about 10 games, because each box for $19.99 comes with 5 games. First game is DT Racer. Let's look at overall condition. So it did come with the manual, as well as the game, and the game is very clean. The next game I got was NHL 2002, and it did come with the manual as well. And the game for it is very clean. The next game I got was American Idol. It's got its manual, and that game's very clean as well. The next game is Finding Nemo. Looks like it may not be the original case, but it's in a good case, and it did include the manual. And the game is very clean for it as well. The next game is Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. It came with its manual as well, and the game is very clean. So far, these 5 games don't have any scratches or any issues with them, and they're very clean. The cases are actually pretty clean as well. The next game I got was NBA Live 2003. Came with its manual. The game is very clean. The next game is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's got its manual. And the game is very clean. The next game is Cabela's Deer Hunt 2005 season. This one didn't come with a manual, but I'm not sure if there might be one available for it. The next game is NHRA Championship Drag Racing. It's got its manual. The game is very clean. And the last game is World Championship Poker. It's got its manual. And that game is very clean. So that's going to be it for that box. So overall I got 10 games. Most of which include several sports titles, as you can see, and a couple of racing games. It's a little disappointing, but overall, I'm okay with that. I don't have a whole lot of NHL games or NBA games in my collection, and I don't think I have any of these games actually in my collection, so I'm okay with receiving these games. Overall, they're very clean, so as far as the condition rating, I would say that they're in pretty good shape. The manuals are in pretty good shape, and the cases don't have a whole lot of GameStop stickers or other random stickers on them from other game companies. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Do I wish that there was maybe some more variety as far as fighting games or war type games? I do wish that there was a little bit more mix in the pack that I got. But it's understandable, these are cheaper games, because they did send me 5 for $19.99. That's roughly, $4 a piece. So like I mentioned earlier, we'll compare the price charting amounts to what I actually paid and see what kind of value I ended up at after this. Alright, so now let's move on to the Retro VGames and see what kind of games they ended up sending me. So as I mentioned earlier, I'd have a little bit more information about them. I ended up purchasing one of their mystery boxes online. I've never ordered any of their mystery boxes, so I was curious to receive and see what they would send me. When I purchased the mystery box, it was on sale. The website said that it was $99.97, and it was on sale for $39.97. So I made the purchase, I paid a little bit for shipping, and the total on that mystery box was $49.97. So again, it was a little bit comparable to this price. And so I made the purchase because I wanted to see them go head-to-head with Core Gaming in New Hampshire. Retro VGames is located in Pennsylvania, so after my purchase I waited a little bit to see if I would receive a tracking number from them. A couple days went by and I didn't receive a tracking number from them, so I reached out to them to find out if my order was going to be filled, because I was starting to be concerned. They replied back pretty quickly and said yes, that they were working on the order. So, in the meantime, I ended up looking online and found a Reddit page where people had somewhat of a bad experience purchasing from them. People's orders were getting canceled, or they were being shipped from a different location. So I grew a little bit concerned over that. I ended up, a couple days later, receiving the tracking information for my shipment and realized that it was coming from Virginia. It's a little strange since the company is located in Pennsylvania. But I did end up receiving this box, and it did come from Virginia. So I'm curious to see what's inside this box. One of the things that somebody noted was that they were purchasing games or lots or consoles from eBay sellers and then shipping them over to the person who had purchased it. I believe that might be the case for what I purchased. However, I want to see what kind of condition and what they sent me. So that's kind of my thoughts and where I was, and the reason why I made the statement earlier in the video about me being curious about what I was going to receive from them. Let's jump in and see what I ended up receiving and see if it's got a value and what kind of condition these games are in. Alright, so they did actually use some bubble wrap, which is good. Oh, I don't think this is going to be good though. Alright, so I purchased a PlayStation 2 mystery box. However, what they sent me were PlayStation 1 games. Let's go over the games and see if they're in good condition and what I received. So the first game is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for the PlayStation 1. Well, the case is broken. Overall, the game's not in bad place. There is one spot that looks a little, has like a little bit of an imperfection. The second game I received was Madden 2003. And it's in pretty good shape. Does include its manual. The next game I received was NASCAR 98. The case is pretty banged up. The game's got some scratches overall, and the case is really in kind of bad shape. That's a little bit of a disappointment. The next game I got was NFL Game Day 98. And it's got some sort of sticker funk on it. It's got some scratches and light scratches on it, so overall it's not in terrible shape, but it's not in the best of shape. The next game I got was Madden 2001. It's in pretty good shape. And then the last game is Wheel of Fortune. And that game's in pretty good shape, and the case is in pretty good shape. So, thoughts on the RetroVGames mystery box. Overall, I'm not very impressed, because I did order a PlayStation 2, and they sent me PlayStation 1 games. That's a mistake on their part, or whoever they purchased the lot from on eBay, if that was the case. Again, these games were shipped from Virginia, and their store location is in Pennsylvania. While I'm not going to reach out to them and try to get this fixed, because it's not really worth my time, these games, I would say, are not the best games, although Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is pretty awesome, because I do love a good Tony Hawk game, and I don't have any of these games for my collection. Sending me 3 NFL games and a NASCAR game is probably not what I would recommend or want to see be sent in a mystery box, because there's really no different variety in that mystery box, even if they mistakenly sent me the wrong console of games. So I'm still going to go through, add these up for price charting, and I'll let you guys know what the value is. But it's a pretty big disappointment to receive the wrong console from a company when you clearly ordered something for a specific console. Alright, so I'll be back with my overall thoughts. I'm going to score each of these boxes based on the quarters that we discussed earlier. Points will be awarded 1 through 5 for each quarter, and I'll let you know who the winner is. Alright, so I went back and I reviewed each of these games. I looked at each game individually to see what the condition of the case was in, the manual, and the game. And I looked over everything in a whole, and then went to price charting and priced out all of the games to see what the actual value should have been or was through price charting. So I'm happy to report the overall ratings for each quarter. First quarter was based on condition, as we know. Core Gaming ended up scoring 4 points for that quarter. That was based on the fact that most of these games came complete in box with the manual. There's not a whole lot of sticky residue from GameStop stickers or other gaming companies. The only sticker on the package is the sticker that Core Game puts on them, which has the price, and that should be pretty easily removable. Due to RetroVGames sending me PlayStation 1 games and not the PlayStation 2 games, I decided to include them in this round and continue to grade them based on what I saw. So I reviewed theirs and went back and looked at the condition for their games. I ended up giving them a 3. The reason I gave them a 3 was because the games do include a case and manual. Some of the cases are pretty scratched up or do have cuts or damage to them, and some of the games are scratched up. So that's why I gave them a 3. Let's move on to the second quarter. The second quarter was based on the collection value. So I ended up giving Core Gaming a 3 on their collection value. This was based on, did they put some thought into this purchase? Was there a variety of games? Did they only send me sports games or not? They did send me quite a few sports games. However, there is a good mix of games in here. So I gave them a 3, which is kind of in the middle of our rating between 1 and 5. Since I looked over at the RetroVGames, and most of the games, 4 out of 6 of the games, are sports titles and NFL titles, I ended up only giving them a 1. Because really the only game that had any value was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Next, let's look at the third quarter, which was the overall value. For that I went to price charting, and Core Gaming ended up scoring a 3.5. The reason I gave them a 3.5 was because I paid $43.97 for this box. The overall value that I received was $69.71, so that's about a $25 profit off of these games, which I'm really happy with. I think that's fair and reasonable for what I paid and the variety of games that I received. So because RetroVGames didn't give me the PlayStation 2 games that I ordered, I scored them at a 0 this round. It's kind of hard to give an overall value when I'm not comparing console to console, and these are 2 different consoles with different eras. I will say the one game that they did send me was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and it valued out at $18 and some change. Overall, I spent $49.97 on this box, and I ended up with about $56.20 after looking through price charting. So was it a complete loss? No. However, they didn't send me the proper games, and therefore it's kind of a disqualification for this round. So therefore, the winner of this round is going to be Core Gaming. They ended up scoring 10.5 points, while RetroVGames only scored 4 points. They didn't send me the correct box, so it kind of disqualifies them in a lot of ways. However, I believe that there's still some good value in the Core Gaming games that they sent me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they send me on the next round. Alright, so next up is Double Jump Video Games versus Secret Castle Toys and Games. I'm most excited to see who's going to win this round. I haven't ordered any mystery boxes from Double Jump Video Games before. I have ordered some games from them, and everything seems to be pretty legit as far as what they describe in their videos on YouTube. As far as them being clean, very professional, very working order. So I expect that for this box as well. Let's get started with Double Jump Video Games first. As you know, Double Jump Video Games always has their mystery boxes starting at $49.99, and they go up from there. So this box was $49.99, and I paid a little bit for shipping and handling. Let's jump in and see what they sent me. Alright, actually a game that I've never heard of before, Fantavision. Let's check out the condition. Did come with its manual, and the game is in pretty good shape. Another game I've not heard before, Shinn. Looks like a pretty interesting game. And it's clean and includes its manual. The next game I got was Digimon World 4. And you can see the price tags on these games because they always include them with their videos. Came with its case and manual. And it's a very clean game as well. The next game I got was Naruto Chronicles 2. And it's got its instruction manual as well. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So as I kind of expected, these games are pretty clean. The cases and manuals are all clean. The only label that's on them is the Double Jump Video Games sales sticker, which they use removable stickers, so those should come off fairly easily. All in, I got a total of 4 games for the $50 mystery box, so I'm pretty happy with that. These are games that I'm pretty sure I don't have. The only one that I might have is the Naruto Chronicles 2 game, but I'll have to check and see. I'll come back after I open up the Secret Castle Toys and Games box and look at the pricing and let you know what the pricing looks like. Alright, so the last box that we have to open up is Secret Castle Toys and Games. I've never actually ordered anything from them, so this is going to be the first mystery box and first package that I've ever received from them. I'm quite curious because I do watch their YouTube channel pretty frequently, and I do see that they do post mystery boxes sometimes with what they pull. So I'm interested to see what they ended up sending me for this $50 mystery box. I believe after I paid the $50 for the mystery box, there was some shipping and handling. So both of these came out to around $58 to $60 a piece, which kind of falls in line with that mystery box challenge of $50. Let's open it up and see what they sent me. There's a thank you letter in there that they sent me for my purchase, which I believe they do in most of their boxes. As well as a pretty funny sticker of their store associates. Alright, the first game they sent me was Blowout. It's a little dusty inside the case, but overall the game looks like it's in pretty good shape. And it did include the manual. The next game they sent me was Final Fantasy X. I believe I do have this game already, but that's okay. It is a good solid game, and everything looks like it's in pretty good shape. This one's not as dusty as the other one, but that's okay. The next game is Killzone. It didn't include its manual, but that's okay. I believe I do have another copy of this, and the disc is very clean. The next game is Airblade, which I had not heard of before, so I'm quite interested to play this, because I do like a lot of skating games. And it's in really great shape and includes the manual as well. The next game is SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. And I do love some of the wrestling games from that era, so I'm kind of excited to get this game. It didn't include its manual. But the game is in really great shape. And then the last game is Monster House. It has its manual. It's got a little dust or dirt on the back of the disc, but overall not too bad. Looks pretty clean. Alright, so my $60 mystery box got me 6 games from Secret Castle Toys and Games, which overall I'm really happy. I did get some that I've never heard of, which is a great variety of games. Alright, so next I'm going to compare the condition for what Secret Castle Toys and Games sent me, as well as Double Jump Video Games, just like I did with RetroGameCrunch and Core Gaming. I'll go through and grade them based on what I see, and take a little bit closer look at both of these sets of games, and I'll come back and let you know what my overall ratings are. Stay tuned for more. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and it was close, almost too close. I went through both of these mystery boxes from Double Jump Video Games as well as Secret Castle Toys and Games, and looked at them very, very closely. It was very hard to judge this mystery box round, and so I just want to say congratulations to both of them because they put up a really good fight. Overall, it came down to one total point difference between the two mystery boxes and the two different companies. I'm going to go into a little bit more deeper how I graded them. So let's jump in and I'll tell you how I scored each quarter. The first quarter again was based on condition. Overall, Double Jump Video Games scored a 4.5 on the condition of these games. I scored them at a 4.5 because the cases are very clean, the games are very clean, and the manuals are in pretty pristine condition. So for Secret Castle Toys and Games, I ended up giving them a 3.5 for their overall condition. The reason I gave them a 3.5 was because the cases do have some dust on them. There is one game that it was labeled that it had a flaw, and looking at the game closely, the disc does have a crack towards the center. I believe it's probably still going to be playable, and so that's probably why they included it in the mystery box, is because it's not unplayable. It just has a flaw. There was a couple of cases that or games that didn't include the manual, so that's the reason why I gave them a 3.5 for this round. So for the second quarter, which is based on collection value, I ended up giving Double Jump Video Games a 4. I gave them a 4 because these are games that I normally wouldn't pick, and something that really was unique to me, and I felt like they took the time to pull these games specifically for me based on what I had mentioned to them in my email. So I gave Secret Castle Toys and Games a 4 for their collection value because this is a lot of games that I don't normally or wouldn't normally purchase. I thought this was a good variety. They didn't really include any sports games, and so it seemed like somebody actually took the time to pick these out for me and make it unique to my mystery box. So overall, that quarter was a tie. Alright, so the third quarter is based on overall value. I ended up giving Double Jump Video Games a 3.5 based on the purchase and price charting and what I paid versus what price charting said. I ended up paying $60.36 for the Double Jump Video Games mystery box. When I totaled it out through price charting, the total value was $62.07. So there's a little bit of room in there for profit or added value to my collection. And so I felt like it was kind of close and similar to that. So it wasn't going above and beyond, but it was giving me some added value to my collection. And I do believe that these games are good games that I will play at some point in time. Alright, so on the third quarter for Secret Castle Toys and Games and their overall value, I gave them a 3.5. Once again, I ended up spending $58.78 on the box after shipping. When I checked price charting noted that the total value was $63.47. So that's about a $4.69 profit or added value to my collection. So overall, that's pretty similar and close. It's not a drastic difference, however, it is adding some value to my overall collection, and I'm quite happy with that. So that's why I scored them pretty evenly overall. So next I want to go over the totals for this round between these two competitors. Double Jump Video Games ended up scoring a total of 12 points, which is really great. I enjoyed the selection of games that they gave me and really appreciate them taking the time to pull these for me. Secret Castle Toys and Games ended up with a score of 11 points. As I mentioned earlier, it was extremely close and hard to decide. Based on the fact that the Secret Castle Toys and Games were a little bit more dusty, one of them had a little bit of a flaw, and two games didn't include the manuals, I decided that overall, Double Jump Video Games is the winner of this round. There was only a 1 point difference, which is not a drastic difference, and I would highly recommend that you go and buy Mystery Box from Double Jump Video Games, Secret Castle Toys and Games, as well as Core Gaming. Obviously with the RetroGames, they didn't send me the correct box, and reading through their Reddit channel, it seems like there may be something going on that may require a little bit further investigation. So what does that mean? We're on to round 2. Round 2 will be a $100 mystery box from Double Jump Video Games as well as Core Gaming, where they'll go head-to-head to crown the ultimate champion of the mystery box tournament. Stay tuned and let's find out what the next round looks like. It's going to be interesting. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to RetroGameCrunch. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos coming up, so make sure you stay tuned and come back for round 2 when we see Core Gaming versus Double Jump Video Games face off in the $100 Mystery Box Challenge. Until next time, happy gaming!